A lot of people have been asking me for a color grading tutorial. So in this video, I'm going to show you what my current workflow looks like. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm not a colorist by trade, but I've been color grading all my footage and all my projects for the past 10 years, and I've been able to sleep at night. So that probably means something. First things first, you want to go to color management and make sure these are your settings. So I'm going to take this clip here. I'm just going to delete everything. So the first thing I do when I come to the color page in Davinci is to go to my power grade and then drag and drop my base node tree. This keeps all of my nodes organized, so I know exactly where to go if I need to make like a specific tweak. Then I'll go to the LUT page and drag and drop my favorite LUT. And from there, I'll start with the white balance. In this shot, it looks pretty good, so I don't need to change anything, but I would go in here and tweak it. And my balance node, it's set to gamma linear. I find it easier to really dial in the color I want. I kind of want it to be greenish in my shadows and a little bit more warm in my highlights because it's like a sunset light. In the primaries node, I'll do all my adjustments like my gain, lift, gamma, my exposure, my contrast. So in this one is where I do most of the work. And in the saturation node, I set it in the color space HSV. And then I can go in the gain or the gamma to make more precise adjustments, as opposed to using the color boost and the saturation down here. These are just extra nodes to experiment. And then I'll add a little bit of a vignette here. So I just go to the highlights and make it a little bit darker in the corners. That's another mask that you can use to make something pop in your image, but I'm not gonna do anything here. And then the grain is where you can change the grain size, the texture, the strength. Looks pretty good. Elation. And I keep the global node at the end just for minor adjustments if I want to tweak something to match the previous clip or the following clip. So that's pretty much it. That's a really simple grade, but I'm happy with it. So this node tree structure is a good way to get started with your color grading, and you can drag and drop different LUTs. Doesn't have to be the LUT I'm using. But if you're using different cameras for the same video, you would have to do a lot of color space transforms, unless you're using a plugin like Dehancer. I find myself using Dehancer a lot these days because it's just so simple. You just go here, choose your camera. So this camera was a Canon R6 Mark II, and I shot this in C-Log 3 Cinema Gamut. I'm usually mixing Canon and Blackmagic, so using Dehancer is just so easy, and you don't have to fuck around with all the color space transforms. You can also do lots of adjustments in Dehancer itself. This plugin is awesome if you want to emulate a film look. There's all those film profiles from different stocks that you can use. So the first thing I do when I open the Dehancer plugin is go at the very bottom and disable all tools. The one profile that I use most of the time is the Kodak 250D, and you can adjust the intensity here. You can play around with film grain, halation, bloom, and adjust it to the film stock that you want or the film size. I find 16mm to be the sweet spot usually. You can play around with film damage. And when you go in the custom tab, you'll have a lot more flexibility and more of a say how the scratches are gonna look like. The gate weave just kind of shakes the footage a little bit like 16mm or 8mm film cameras would do. You can play with the overscan too. So if you want those perforation on the side of the frame, you can readjust the way it looks too, the size of it, the scale. You can zoom your footage in and out, the gate defocus, so how blurry it looks around the frame. also change the vignette, but I kind of like to have the vignette in here so I can change it more the way I want it. And you can also export your LUTs here really easily. You just go here and export the way it looks right now. I usually use Dehancer for all my film characteristics, but I'll go into my node tree to change colors and contrast and all that stuff, like white balance, saturation. So the Dehancer plugin is more for all the scratches, the film grain, halation, bloom, and all that stuff. But yeah, if I was just getting started in color grading in general, Dehancer is an amazing tool to achieve the color that you want and emulate that film look. So if I was getting started in color grading, I would totally bite the bullet and buy this plugin. It is a GPU demanding plugin, so make sure it runs smoothly on your machine before you purchase it. You can try it out for 2 weeks or something for free. Maybe it's a couple days worth of work to get the plugin, but trust me, like, it takes a lot more than 2 days to achieve that film look and have all those parameters and settings at your disposal in there. It's just such a great tool. Also, make sure to use the code AlexBoak to get 10% off if you want to buy it. And just a disclaimer, Dehancer is not a sponsor of this video, but they have given me the plugin to play around with, and I'm making this video in exchange for using the license. So that's about my color grading workflow these days, and if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.